HTTS Fish Audio Studio 271B785642F74A07AE1EB7A43A16FA Zoo. Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the latest developments in Port Charles as several characters navigate complex situations and relationships. Sonny's investigation progresses. Brick has returned to Port Charles with potentially crucial information regarding the bombing of Sonny Corinthos' penthouse. This development couldn't come at a more critical time, as Sonny has been postponing his medical procedure to prioritize his family's safety. The investigation has been moving at a glacial pace, with many questions remaining unanswered about the security breach that allowed the attack to happen. What's particularly intriguing is the forgotten storyline about a potential traitor within Sonny's organization. Remember the attack on his Puerto Rico property? That incident strongly suggested an inside job, someone with intimate knowledge of Sonny's operations and security protocols. This connection would explain how his typically impenetrable penthouse security was so easily compromised. The timing of Brick's return with this lead raises questions about who might be working against Sonny from within his inner circle. Could it be someone we've known for years? A trusted lieutenant harboring secret resentments? Or perhaps someone newer to the organization with hidden allegiances? Ava's dangerous contemplations. Nina Reeves finds herself in an uncomfortable position as confidant to Ava Jerome, who appears to be viewing Sonny's medical condition as a potential opportunity. Ava has begun seeing Sonny with fresh eyes, which translates to calculating how his health struggles might benefit her financially and in custody matters regarding their daughter. This strategic thinking from Ava isn't surprising, given their complicated history, but it places Nina in a difficult position. Despite their past complications, Nina still cares deeply for Sonny and wants nothing but the best for him. Ava's thinly veiled celebration of Sonny's vulnerability could seriously strain the friendship that Nina and Ava have worked so hard to rebuild. The dynamic between these three characters has always been volatile, but Ava's current machinations add a new layer of complexity. If Nina decides to warn Sonny about Ava's intentions, we could see a dramatic shift in alliances throughout Port Charles. Alternatively, Nina might try to guide Ava toward more compassionate thinking, though history suggests this would be an uphill battle. Elizabeth and Lucky's potential getaway. After weathering numerous storms together, Lucky Spencer has proposed a weekend getaway for himself and Elizabeth Weber. This suggestion comes as a welcome respite from the constant drama surrounding them lately. Elizabeth's initial hesitation centers around her son Aiden Weber, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to motherhood even when personal happiness is at stake. However, Elizabeth will likely recognize that Aiden is mature enough to manage independently for a weekend, with options for him to stay with friends if necessary. This potential romantic interlude represents more than just a vacation. It symbolizes Elizabeth's willingness to prioritize her relationship with Lucky after years of putting others first. The timing of this getaway could prove significant for their relationship's trajectory. Will this time away strengthen their bond, or might it highlight incompatibilities that have developed during their time apart? Either way, this storyline offers a refreshing counterbalance to the more intense plots currently unfolding. Chase's ongoing struggle. Harrison Chase continues to grapple with the baby secret situation involving Brook Lynn Quartermain. Despite publicly supporting Brook Lynn's decisions, even defending her choices to Lulu Spencer, Chase privately admits he's still adjusting to the reality of their situation, particularly with them sharing living quarters. His candid admission that "that's something I just have to get used to" reveals the emotional complexity he's navigating. This internal conflict demonstrates Chase's integrity and depth of feeling as he honors his commitment while processing his authentic emotions. Brook Lynn, recognizing Chase's struggle, will undoubtedly make efforts to help him adjust to their unusual circumstances. Ironically, this shared challenge may ultimately strengthen their connection, creating a deeper bond through their mutual navigation of this delicate situation. The tension between public presentation and private feelings creates a compelling dynamic that showcases both characters' growth. The baby secret drama intensifies. The ongoing saga surrounding Brook Lynn's baby secret continues to create ripple effects throughout Port Charles. What began as a seeming temporary arrangement has evolved into a complex web of emotions and commitments that tests everyone involved. This situation exemplifies how secrets in Port Charles rarely remain contained. They grow, evolve, and eventually transform relationships in unexpected ways. The pressure of maintaining this facade while living in close proximity creates a pressure cooker environment that will inevitably lead to dramatic developments. As Chase and Brook Lynn navigate this challenging territory together, viewers can expect to see new dimensions of their characters emerge. Will their shared secret ultimately unite them in ways they never anticipated, or will the strain of deception eventually create an insurmountable divide? Either way, this storyline promises continued emotional complexity and character development in the episodes ahead. Next, we will learn about the intricate web of secrets, lies, and unexpected romances that are threatening to unravel the delicate fabric of relationships in Port Charles. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster of emotions as we delve into the complex dynamics between Nina Reeves, her daughter Willow Corinthos, and the charming Drew Quartermain. The Quartermain clan's potential reaction. The esteemed Quartermain family, known for their wealth, influence, and penchant for drama, would undoubtedly have a field day if the truth about Nina and Drew's past romance were to come to light. Tracy Quartermain, the sharp-tongued matriarch, would likely view this revelation as yet another scandal threatening the family's reputation. Her caustic wit and biting remarks would surely be directed at both Nina and Drew, questioning their judgment and integrity. Monica Quartermain, on the other hand, might approach the situation with a more nuanced perspective. As a woman who has weathered her fair share of romantic entanglements and family dramas, she could potentially offer a voice of reason amidst the chaos. However, her loyalty to the Quartermain name and her protective instincts towards Drew might lead her to view Nina's actions with suspicion and disappointment. The revelation could potentially fracture the delicate alliances within the Quartermain family, with some members rallying behind Drew, while others might use this opportunity to further their own agendas within the family hierarchy. The ripple effects of this scandal could extend far beyond the immediate parties involved, potentially impacting business dealings, social standing, and even the distribution of the family's vast fortune. Sonny Corinthos' potential involvement. Sonny Corinthos, the powerful mobster with a heart of gold, might find himself unexpectedly drawn into this web of deceit and hidden passions. As Willow's father-in-law and a man with a complicated history with Nina, Sonny's reaction to this revelation could be a game-changer in the unfolding drama. On one hand, Sonny might feel compelled to protect Willow, viewing her as an extension of his family through her marriage to Michael. His protective instincts could lead him to confront both Nina and Drew, demanding answers and potentially issuing veiled threats to ensure Willow's emotional well-being. Conversely, Sonny's own complex relationship with Nina might color his perspective on the situation. Having experienced the weight of keeping secrets and the consequences of their revelation, he might empathize with Nina's predicament. This could lead to an unexpected alliance between Sonny and Nina, as he potentially offers advice or even assistance in navigating this treacherous emotional terrain. Sonny's involvement could also reignite old tensions and rivalries within Port Charles, particularly if he perceives Drew's actions as a threat to his family's stability. The mobster's influence and resources could dramatically alter the course of events, adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. Willow's blissful ignorance and potential heartbreak. Willow Corinthos, caught in the eye of this emotional storm, remains blissfully unaware of the tempest brewing around her. Her growing affection for Drew represents more than just a new romance. It symbolizes hope, healing, and the promise of a brighter future after the challenges she's faced in her relationship with Michael. Drew has become Willow's beacon of light, offering her the attention, understanding, and emotional support she's been craving. In him, she sees not just a potential partner, but a confidant and ally in navigating the complex dynamics of Port Charles society. This budding relationship has rekindled a spark of joy and optimism in Willow that has been noticeably absent in recent times. However, the foundation of this newfound happiness is built upon a precarious secret, threatening to crumble at any moment. The eventual revelation of Nina and Drew's past could shatter Willow's trust not only in her mother but in her own judgment. The pain of this betrayal might be compounded by feelings of embarrassment and foolishness for not having seen the signs or questioned the sudden intensity of Nina's objections to her relationship with Drew. The potential fallout from this revelation could send Willow into an emotional tailspin, forcing her to reevaluate every interaction, every moment of happiness she shared with Drew. The doubt and insecurity that would inevitably follow might push Willow to make drastic decisions, potentially isolating herself from both Nina and Drew in an attempt to protect her heart from further pain. Nina's desperate attempts to derail the romance. Nina Reeves finds herself in an increasingly desperate situation as she watches her daughter Willow fall deeper in love with Drew Quartermain. Her attempts to sabotage this blossoming romance have become more frantic and transparent, bordering on the comical if the stakes weren't so high. In her arsenal of diversionary tactics, Nina has employed everything from subtle manipulation to outright bribery, She's dangled the prospect of a new house before Willow, hoping the allure of a fresh start in a new home might distract her from Drew's charms. Nina has also attempted to play on Willow's sense of loyalty to Michael, subtly reminding her of their history together and hinting at the potential pain Michael might feel seeing her move on so quickly. More deviously, Nina has begun planting seeds of doubt about Drew's character and intentions. She's hinted at past indiscretions, fabricated concerns about his commitment issues, and even suggested that his interest in Willow might be part of a larger scheme to gain leverage within the Quartermain family. Each of these attempts has backfired spectacularly, serving only to push Willow further into Drew's arms. Nina's increasingly transparent attempts at manipulation have begun to strain her relationship with Willow, who is growing suspicious of her mother's intense interest in her love life. As her options dwindle and her desperation grows, Nina finds herself teetering on the edge of a moral precipice. The temptation to reveal the truth about her past with Drew grows stronger with each passing day, even as she recognizes the potentially catastrophic consequences of such a revelation. The ticking time bomb of truth. At the heart of this emotional maelstrom lies a ticking time bomb of truth, threatening to explode at any moment and reshape the landscape of relationships in Port Charles. Nina's past romance with Drew Quartermain, a secret she's guarded more closely than the Cassadines guard their family treasures, has become an albatross around her neck, growing heavier with each passing day. This hidden chapter in Nina's life represents more than just a past indiscretion. It's a fundamental betrayal of trust that could irreparably damage her relationship with Willow. The revelation of this secret would force Willow to confront the fact that her mother has been actively deceiving her, all while watching her fall in love with a man who once held Nina's heart. For Drew, the exposure of this past romance could tarnish his image in Willow's eyes, transforming him from a charming suitor to a man with questionable loyalties. It might also force him to confront unresolved feelings for Nina, potentially complicating his budding relationship with Willow and his standing within the Quartermain family. The longer Nina holds on to this secret, the more devastating its eventual revelation becomes. Each moment of happiness between Willow and Drew, each step they take towards building a future together, adds another layer of betrayal to Nina's silence. The question that haunts Nina is not just when the truth will come out, but how much damage it will cause when it does. In the pressure cooker environment of Port Charles, where secrets have a way of bubbling to the surface at the most inopportune moments, the clock is ticking on how long Nina can maintain this charade. The truth, like a force of nature, is bound to find its way into the light, leaving a trail of broken hearts and shattered trust in its wake. Nina's crossroads, a mother's dilemma. As the walls close in and her options dwindle, Nina Reeves finds herself at a critical crossroads, faced with an impossible choice that will shape the future of her relationship with Willow and potentially alter the course of multiple lives in Port Charles. On one hand, revealing the truth about her past with Drew could be seen as an act of maternal protection, a desperate attempt to save Willow from potential heartbreak and betrayal. It would demonstrate a willingness to sacrifice her own happiness and risk her daughter's anger for the sake of honesty and long-term emotional well-being. However, this path is fraught with danger. The revelation could irreparably damage Nina's fragile relationship with Willow, potentially severing the tenuous bond they've worked so hard to build. It could also devastate Willow's burgeoning romance with Drew, robbing her of a chance at happiness that she so desperately deserves after her tumultuous relationship with Michael. On the other hand, continuing to conceal the truth allows Nina to protect Willow's current happiness and preserve their mother-daughter relationship, at least in the short term. It offers the hope that perhaps Willow and Drew's relationship will naturally run its course, sparing everyone the pain of this explosive revelation. Yet, this path of continued deception carries its own risks. The longer the secret is kept, the more betrayed Willow will likely feel when the truth inevitably comes to light. Moreover, allowing Willow to deepen her relationship with Drew under false pretenses could lead to even greater heartbreak in the future. As Nina grapples with this dilemma, she must weigh the immediate pain of honesty against the potential long-term consequences of continued deception. Her decision will not only impact her relationship with Willow, but will send ripples through the lives of Drew, the Quartermains, and potentially the entire Port Charles community. In the end, Nina's choice will be a testament to her character, her love for her daughter, and her understanding of the complex tapestry of relationships that define life in Port Charles. Whatever path she chooses, the consequences are sure to provide ample drama and emotional turmoil in the days to come. Next, we will learn about the intriguing developments surrounding the mysterious explosion at Sonny Corinthos' penthouse and the potential involvement of a surprising suspect. As the investigation unfolds, new clues and unexpected twists are keeping Port Charles on edge. Valentin's questionable account. The web of intrigue surrounding the penthouse explosion continues to thicken, with Valentin Casadine's role becoming increasingly ambiguous. Initially presenting himself as a source of valuable information, Valentin's credibility has come under scrutiny. His claim of tracking the theft of explosive devices just before his near-death experience raises more questions than it answers. Valentin's account to Sonny about a missing shipment of explosives from the WSB seemed to provide a crucial lead. He pointed to an unnamed mastermind who had acquired the means to target Sonny, revealing only the identity of the hired hitman. However, the veracity of this information is now in doubt, given Valentin's history of deception. In the pressure cooker environment of the PCPD questioning room, Valentin's interaction with Jason added another layer of complexity to the situation. While Jason couldn't facilitate Valentin's escape, the offer of a future favor hints at a potential alliance that could dramatically alter the course of the investigation. Could this favor involve exonerating Valentin while simultaneously eliminating Jack Brennan from the equation? The possibility that Valentin fabricated his story to extricate himself from a precarious situation cannot be dismissed. His desperation following the break-in may have led him to concoct a narrative that would deflect suspicion and secure his safety. This leaves both the investigators and the residents of Port Charles in a quandary, unsure of whom to trust or what information to believe. Jason's ominous warnings. Jason's recent behavior has taken a decidedly dark turn, with his comments to Carly Spencer bordering on outright threats. His ominous warning about the potential consequences for Carly if she were to end up dead because of Brennan sent shockwaves through their conversation. This uncharacteristically aggressive stance from Jason suggests a level of involvement or knowledge that goes beyond mere concern for Carly's safety. The intensity of Jason's reaction raises questions about his own role in the unfolding drama. Is he privy to information about Brennan that others are not, or is his hostility towards Brennan rooted in something more personal? The ambiguity surrounding Jason's motivations adds another layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation. Furthermore, Jason's offer of a favor to Valentin during their encounter at the PCPD is laden with potential implications. The nature of this favor remains shrouded in mystery, but its timing and context suggest it could be pivotal in the resolution of the current crisis. Could Jason be positioning himself as a power broker in this high-stakes game of cat and mouse? As the investigation progresses, Jason's actions and statements will undoubtedly come under increased scrutiny. His relationship with Carly, his history with Sonny, and his newfound connection to Valentin all contribute to a complex web of loyalties and potential conflicts of interest that could significantly impact the outcome of this case. The WSB Training Center incident. The events that unfolded at the WSB Training Center have become a focal point in the investigation, providing what may be a crucial clue in identifying the perpetrator behind Sonny's penthouse explosion. Jocelyn Jax's experience during a lie detector test has inadvertently shed light on a potential suspect, raising suspicions about Jack Brennan's involvement in the attack. During the test, Vaughn's line of questioning took an intriguing turn when he asked Jocelyn about her feelings towards Sonny regarding Michael's injuries. Jocelyn's firm denial of holding Sonny responsible, instead placing blame on the bomber, set the stage for a revealing moment. Vaughn's follow-up question about how Jocelyn would react upon encountering the person responsible for the explosion proved to be particularly significant. The timing of Brennan's appearance, coinciding with this hypothetical scenario, has not gone unnoticed by keen observers. His sudden presence, observing Jocelyn through the window before entering the room to engage her in conversation, has been interpreted by many as more than mere coincidence. This sequence of events has led to speculation that the writers may have intentionally dropped a major clue about Brennan's potential involvement in the bombing. However, the possibility of misdirection cannot be discounted. The writers of General Hospital are known for their clever plot twists and red herrings. Could Brennan's timely appearance be a deliberate attempt to mislead the audience and the characters within the show, or is it indeed a subtle revelation of his guilt? The implications of Brennan's potential involvement extend far beyond the immediate investigation. As a figure associated with the WSB, his connection to the explosion would represent a significant breach of trust and could have far-reaching consequences for the organization and its relationships with key players in Port Charles. The missing explosive device. The revelation of a missing shipment of explosive devices from the WSB has added a new dimension to the investigation. This critical piece of information, provided by Valentin to Sonny Corinthos, suggests that someone with both access to WSB resources and a motive to eliminate Sonny had acquired the means to carry out the attack. The theft of such dangerous materials from a high-security organization like the WSB raises serious questions about internal security protocols and the possibility of an inside job. Could someone within the WSB be working against Sonny, or is this theft the work of an external party with exceptional resources and intelligence? The connection between the missing explosives and the penthouse bombing seems clear, but the identity of the mastermind behind the attack remains elusive. Valentin's ability to reveal only the name of the hired hitman, while withholding information about the true orchestrator, adds another layer of mystery to the situation. This missing shipment also raises questions about potential future threats. If the stolen explosives were indeed used in the penthouse attack, are there more devices unaccounted for? Could Port Charles be facing the threat of additional bombings? The implications of this theft extend beyond the current investigation, potentially putting the entire community at risk. As the search for answers continues, the missing explosive devices remain a central element in understanding the full scope of the threat against Sonny and potentially others in Port Charles. The resolution of this mystery could have far-reaching implications for the safety and security of the entire community. Brennan's suspicious behavior. Jack Brennan's actions and timing have placed him squarely in the spotlight of suspicion. His appearance at the WSB training center, coinciding with Jocelyn's hypothetical question about confronting the bomber, has been interpreted by many as more than mere coincidence. This moment has become a pivotal point in the investigation, with fans and characters alike scrutinizing Brennan's every move. Brennan's decision to engage Jocelyn in conversation immediately after this revealing moment adds another layer of intrigue to the situation. Was this an attempt to gauge Jocelyn's knowledge or suspicions, or perhaps a calculated move to assert his innocence through direct interaction? The nature and content of their conversation could provide valuable insights into Brennan's state of mind and potential involvement in the bombing. Furthermore, Brennan's position within the WSB gives him the access and resources that would be necessary to orchestrate such an attack. His knowledge of WSB operations, including the shipment and storage of explosive devices, places him in a unique position to have potentially acquired the materials used in the penthouse bombing. However, it's crucial to consider the possibility that Brennan's suspicious behavior is a red herring deliberately planted by the show's writers. His overt actions could be a clever misdirection designed to draw attention away from the true culprit. In the complex world of Port Charles, appearances can often be deceiving, and those who seem most suspicious are not always the guilty parties. As the investigation progresses, Brennan's past, his relationships within Port Charles, and his motivations will undoubtedly come under intense scrutiny. The resolution of his role in this unfolding drama could have significant implications for the balance of power in Port Charles and the future of the WSB's operations in the area. The aftermath and future implications. As the investigation into the penthouse bombing continues, the residents of Port Charles find themselves navigating a landscape fraught with suspicion, danger, and uncertainty. The attack on Sonny Corinthos' home has sent shockwaves through the community, altering alliances and raising questions about who can truly be trusted. The implications of this event extend far beyond the immediate aftermath. If Jack Brennan is indeed revealed to be the mastermind behind the attack, it could lead to a significant shakeup within the WSB and potentially strain relationships between the organization and key figures in Port Charles. The breach of trust would be monumental, potentially leading to a reevaluation of all WSB operations in the area. On the other hand, if Brennan is cleared of suspicion, the question of who orchestrated the bombing becomes even more pressing. The true culprit, still at large, would pose an ongoing threat not just to Sonny, but potentially to the entire community. This uncertainty could lead to increased security measures and a general atmosphere of paranoia in Port Charles. The resolution of this mystery is likely to have far-reaching consequences for numerous characters. Jocelyn's involvement in the WSB training program may be reevaluated, especially if Brennan's integrity is called into question. Jason's ominous warnings and his offer to Valentin could come under renewed scrutiny, potentially altering his relationships with both allies and enemies. For Sonny Corinthos, the aftermath of this attack could lead to a reevaluation of his position in Port Charles. The vulnerability exposed by the bombing might prompt him to either strengthen his defenses or consider a change in his operations. His relationships with those he suspects of involvement, directly or indirectly, in the attack are likely to undergo significant changes. As the dust settles and the truth gradually comes to light, the landscape of Port Charles is poised for dramatic shifts. Alliances will be tested, secrets will be revealed, and the balance of power may be forever altered. The repercussions of this single event are set to ripple through the lives of all involved, promising a future filled with tension, drama, and unexpected twists. In the coming weeks, viewers can expect to see the characters of General Hospital grappling with the fallout from these revelations. Trust will be a precious commodity, and the lines between friend and foe may blur in surprising ways. As always in Port Charles, the only certainty is that nothing is ever quite as it seems, and the truth has a way of emerging in the most unexpected and dramatic fashion.